Let's check in, my friends. My name is Shay and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about book consumerism, and I'm going to do a little bit of a haul for you guys. So if you look on BookTube, there's hundreds of conversations about book consumerism, and to be a booktuber you have to own all these books. My answer is absolutely no, you don't. I follow a ton of booktubers who film not in front of any kind of books or any kind of shelves, and the only reason I film in front of my shelves, to be quite honest, is because this is the only filming location I have and y'all don't see my messy house. So there's that. So I film in front of these shelves, and to be quite honest, like, there's conversations about should people be buying all these books, should they not be buying all these books. To be quite honest, it's your money, you do you, I don't care. However, from my standpoint, when I first started or getting back into reading, I used to say, hey, I'm going to buy 5 books, and be mindful, I didn't really read a lot when I first got back into it. I'm going to buy 5 books, and then I'm going to read all 5 books before I go and buy 5 more. That was kind of how I approached my book buying. And then I found BookTube, and I was buying everything, every single thing. If somebody talked about it, I bought it. And that was really crazy because I hated my shelves. I hated that I had all these books that really, truly, I had no interest in reading. So I have gotten rid of a lot of books that I paid good money for because I was not really interested in that. And then I got into the mindset of, I'm not going to buy it unless it's a favorite. Like, I read it from the library or whatever, and it's a favorite, and I'm like, yeah, I want it for my shelves, because I really wanted my shelves to kind of look like what I am as a reader and what I like in my books. However, recently I was on Twitter, and first of all, I don't post on Twitter. I use Twitter to kind of see what authors are talking about in the book community and all of that, but I myself don't post. I think Twitter is very, very, very toxic. Let's leave it at that. But I was on there and I was scrolling, and I still have the flu, so please excuse my voice. I was on there and I was scrolling, and I came across this author who was talking about how she did not sell enough of her sci fantasy books to probably ever write in that genre again. And it made me very, very sad, because that particular book I really, really enjoyed, and I just hadn't bought a copy of it. So my thoughts were, these authors have to have people buy their books in order to continue to write the stories that we all love. So if we have the means to support them to buy books, I think that we should. And I have the means to do that. And so it just totally, scrolling through the comments and all of that, just totally brought me back into, I want to buy books and I want to support my authors, and there's nothing wrong if you don't have the money, if you don't have the space, if you don't have whatever, not to do that. You just support them by borrowing from the library, and the library will buy more copies because there's more, requests for that certain book. And so that is in itself is supporting an author, and you can buy Kindle books and you can buy audio and whatever. It all goes to support the author. But I decided that I wanted to buy some books that I was really anticipating reading, that I really wanted to read, and in order to support these authors. And the author in question's book is on its way to me, but I wanted to go ahead and record this video, and that author is Annie Davenport, who wrote The Blood Trials, and I want to shout this out. She wrote The Blood Trials. I read it. The second book comes out next year. It is a complete duology. Once that second book comes out, it's fantastic. It's a sci fantasy. It has a training school aspect to it. Highly, it's very brutal, but I loved it. First, so let's get into kind of the haul. So first, let's just talk about the book of the month books that I've purchased since the last haul I did, and that's going to be Ruth Ware's The It Girl, which I've read. That's going to be Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, which I've read. And that's going to be Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I've contemplated not continuing my book of the month subscription, but for now I will keep it. But I have skipped several months in a row. I have a ton of books over here. So I have really been enjoying this particular series, and of course If there's anybody that needs a really big support, that's going to be our self-published authors. And so I went and brought the Cordaic Saga books in hardcover by Alicia Wasdaw-Burke, and the first one is Blood of Heirs. The second one is Legacy of Ghosts. The third one is Empire of Shadows. So I have all three of these now. Yay! And to look pretty on my shelf, I really do enjoy this series, and I really, really highly recommend. Then I won this book, or I got it brought for me from my book club, and it's a very big chunker, and that's going to be Legacy of Ash by Matthew Ward. I have heard a lot of good things about this book. It's like almost 800 pages. I mean, it is chunky. So I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but it is on my radar. Couple of pre-orders I did at the beginning of the year is going to be Defend the Dawn by Brigid Kemmerer, and this is the second in the, I don't know what this series is called, but the first one was Defy the Night. I pre-ordered The River of Silver by S.A. Chakraborty, which is short stories from the David Bode trilogy, which of course you know that I love. I also pre-ordered Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Austin, which starts out with Amari and the Night Brothers, and I absolutely positively 100% recommend this to anybody, but it's a great middle grade fantasy story. Now, here comes the pile that I brought after seeing Eddie Davenport's post and being like, I need to buy some books. So let's talk about it. I purchased The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I don't know how you really pronounce her name. I'm really sorry if I butchered that. I don't know what this is about, but it's obviously about witches, and it's a romance. So hello, and I've heard a lot of good things, a lot of good buzz about this one. I also purchased The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas. I've heard nothing but great things about this, and this is a YA fantasy. I think it has some trials in there, some schooly vibes. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of great things and looking forward to reading it soon. Next is a book that's been on my radar for quite some time, and that is going to be The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish. And I love this cover. It's stunning. I love this man right here on the cover. It almost looks like a skull. It's a mask. Love it. Love it. And this may be one of my upcoming reads because I have been anticipating this since it came out. Also, love this cover. I haven't read the other series that this author has, but I love this cover, and I love the premise of this story. It makes me feel like I'm just gonna love this. And that is August Kitco and the Mechas from Space by Alex White. So this is a fantastic cover, and it says space opera just got louder, and it's about the robots are coming to kill us, and there's nothing we can do about it but wait. But jazz pianist Gus Kitco expects to spend his final moments on Earth playing piano at the greatest goodbye party of all time. And it just sounds like a fun time, and I love this cover. Another fantasy story that came out during the summer that I have wanted to read and finally got my hands on is going to be The Flames of Mira by Clay Harmon. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this, but number one, I also really like this cover, and so I bought it, and it's got a like super, I know you all probably can't see that, like colored nice map in it, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Another book that I've heard a lot of buzz about and decided to pick up a copy is going to be The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi, and this one also has a freaking gorgeous map on the inside of it. I don't know if this has something to do with blood magic, but love this cover, love this blue. It's matching me today, and wanted to pick it up to support the author, and we'll hopefully get to read it soon. And then the last one that I brought was The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. I also like the art style on here. I've heard really great things. It also has a fantastic map printed here. I heard this has some older characters in it as well, and we're all missing older representation. So I have a few more books coming to me that are headed their way. I'll include them in the next haul. But I wanted to go ahead and sit down and make this video because I thought it was very, very important to talk about supporting authors. Please support your authors any way that you can, because we all love to read, and if these authors didn't sell any books, we wouldn't be able to do that. Christmas is coming, and I know that I will add more to my pile. Tell me some books y'all are excited to buy, some books maybe that are coming that you're excited to see. I may add them to my to buy pile of books of a list that I've already started. So hey, I'll catch you guys later and hope you guys are having a great reading month.